Class 7th. Subject: Social Science. Lesson 10. The Delhi Sultanate. The period from AD 1206 to 1526 in the history of India is known as the period of Delhi Sultanate. Khalji, Tughlaq, Sayyid, and Lodhi dynasties ruled from Delhi during this period. Iltutmish, Balban, Alauddin Khalji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and Firoz Shah Tughlaq were the great sultana of the Delhi Sultanate. Few main historical sources are written below the information of Delhi Sultanate. Sultan word is a word of Arabian language which means ruler. Historical sources. Various court chronicles, the travellers' accounts and historical buildings are the main sources of information of the Delhi Sultanate. Travellers' accounts Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo etc., who visited India during the medieval period, wrote an accounts about information of the personalities and reign of different Delhi sultans. Court chronicles Tughlaq-Nama, Tariq-i-Ilahi, Tariq-i Firoz Shahi, Futuhat-i Firoz Shahi, Tariq-i Mubarak Shahi, and Makhzari-i Afghan provide us information about personality and main events of the Delhi Sultanate. Historical buildings of Delhi Sultanate period like Quat al-Islam Mosque, Alari Darwaja, Tuflakabad, Hauz Khan, Lodhi Dome, Firoz Shah Kotla etc. also provide us information about the artistic tastes of the Delhi Sultans. The Slave Dynasty. Qutb-ud-Din Aibak. During the medieval period, Qutb-ud-Din Aibak was the real founder of the Turkish rule in India. He was the first ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. He occupied Punjab in order to prevent Tajuddin Yildiz, the ruler of Ghazni, from invading it. He made Lahore his capital. Nasruddin Qacha, who had captured Multan and Sindh, got married Aibak's sister. Aibak was a great lover of art. He built mosques in Delhi and Amber. He started the construction of Qutb Minar. He died in 1210 AD when he suddenly fell from his horse. Iltutmish. Iltutmish was a slave of Qutb-ud-Din Aibak and later became his son-in-law. Iltutmish was appointed as Emir-e-Shikar by Qutb-ud-Din Aibak because of his capability and honesty. After the death of Aibak, his son Eram Shah became the ruler who proved to be an inefficient sultan. So Iltutmish was made the sultan. He defeated Eram Shah and imprisoned him. Then Iltutmish killed him. Thus Iltutmish became the ruler of Delhi in 1211 AD. Iltutmish took many steps in order to consolidate the Delhi Sultanate. He took control over the emirs who were against the Delhi Sultanate. He defeated Tajuddin Yildiz of Ghazni and Nasruddin Qacha of Multan and Sindh. He captured some Rajput forts like Ranthambore, Gwalior, Ujjain etc. He crushed the revolt of Bengal and captured it again. He saved India from the Mongol invasion under Changiz Khan in 1221 AD. He appointed 40 emirs to run the administration of the state. They were called Shaliza. Razia Sultana. Razia Sultana was a daughter of Iltutmish. She was sit on the throne of the Delhi Sultanate after the death of Iltutmish. She ruled from 1236 to 1240 AD. She suppressed the revolts of the regional governors. But the emirs and army generals did not like to obey her because they did not like to spend their life under a woman, and she put to death in 1240 AD. After Razia Sultan, a number of unimportant rulers became powerful. Ghiyas-ud-Din Balban, 1266 to 1286 AD. Ghiyas-ud-din Balban declared himself as the Sultan of Delhi Sultanate after the death of Nasir-ud-din in 1266. He was the greatest ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. He ruled from 1266 to 1286 AD. He brought under control the unrest spread by the Mawatis near Delhi and the robbers of Doab. He crushed the revolts of Chural Khan in Bengal. The criminals were severely punished. The army was reorganized. A special army was kept in the northwestern frontier provinces in order to defend them from Mongol invasions. He adopted a cruel policy, called blood and iron policy against the Mongols. He also made reforms in the administration. He provided justice to his people. Ghiyas-ud-din Balban died in 1286 AD. Since his successors were weak and inefficient, the throne was captured by Jalal-ud-din Khalji and the slave dynasty came to an end. The Khalji dynasty. Jalal-ud-din Khalji was the founder of the Khalji dynasty. He ruled from 1290 to 1296 AD. Since the court had become a place of conspiracies in 1296 AD, Ali-ud-din Khalji, the nephew and the son-in-law of Jalal-ud-din Khalji, killed Jalal-ud-din and became the ruler. Ali-ud-din Khalji, 1296 to 1316 AD. Ali-ud-din Khalji was the famous ruler of the Khalji dynasty. Herald from 1296 to 1316 AD. He wanted to establish an empire in India. He conquered Gujarat in 1299 AD. In 1301 AD he captured most famous Fort Ranthambore. Thereafter he also captured Chitta in 1303 AD. Then, he sent a large army in South India under his general, Malik Kafur. Malik Kafur conquered Devgiri, Warangal, Dwar Samudra, and Madurai. Ali-ud-din did not annex them into Delhi Sultanate. Economic reforms of Ali-ud-din Khalji. Ali-ud-din Khalji fixed the prices of all essential commodities at a low level. He appointed market officers to keep a check on the prices. The shopkeeper who broke the rule was severely punished. For example, the shopkeepers were beaten with the koras, whip. A piece of flesh equivalent to the weight of the thing was cut from the body of shopkeepers who weighed less. Reforms in the army. Ali-ud-din Khalji started the practice of preparing descriptive rolls of soldiers and branding the horses. He started the system of cash salary to the soldiers. He also employed spies who were posted in different parts of the empire. In 1316 AD, after the death of Ali-ud-din Khalji, Shahabuddin Umar, Mubarak Shah, Nisruddin Khusro Shah sultans ruled. In 1320 AD, Ghiyas-ud-din Tughlaq became a king after assassinating the Khusro Shah. Tughlaq dynasty, 1320 to 1414. The Tughlaq dynasty was one of the most famous dynasties of the Delhi Sultanate. Ghiyas-ud-din was the first ruler of this dynasty. He ruled from 13:20-1325 AD. He was an efficient military commander. He suppressed rebellions and established peace in his state. He was succeeded by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, 1325-1351. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a very powerful ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. He ruled from 1325-1351 AD. He is well known in the history of India for his visionary plans. He was well educated, but all his plans failed because of his lack of experience. People had to face many problems because of his plans. so they were against him. That is why Muhammad bin Tughlaq can be called the intellectual fool. Why Muhammad bin Tughlaq was called the intellectual but foolish king? Administration of Muhammad Tughlaq. Shift of capital. Muhammad bin Tughlaq had a vast empire. So, he in 1327 decided to shift the capital of the empire from Delhi to Devagiri, Daulatabad. There were two reasons behind it. To protect the empire from the invasions of the Mongols. To administer the empire better from Devagiri than from Delhi. Why Muhammad bin Tughlaq shifted his capital? Muhammad bin Tughlaq forced the people to leave Delhi and move to Daulatabad. Hundreds of them people died on the way. After shifting his capital, the administration of North India started worsening. So, Muhammad bin Tughlaq decided to go back to Delhi. Thus his plan to change the capital proved to be unsuccessful. 2. Bronze currency. In 1330 AD, Muhammad bin Tughlaq introduced bronze coins. There was a shortage of silver around the world during this period. So, Muhammad bin Tughlaq issued bronze coins in place of the silver tankers. They had the same value as the silver coins. However, the plan failed as the people made fake coins in large quantity. It caused a great loss to the trade. So, Muhammad bin Tughlaq took back the bronze coins and in return gave the silver coins. People made fake bronze coins in large numbers and in exchange got silver coins from the government. Thus the state treasury became empty. Why Muhammad bin Tughlaq issued the coins of bronze? Taxation in Doab. Muhammad bin Tughlaq increased tax in Doab because it was the most fertile area. But he had done so at a wrong time. There was a great reduction in the harvest due to the prevalent famine. So, the farmers could not pay the tax. Therefore the officers of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq started atrocities with the farmers. The farmers revolted against the Sultan. So, the Sultan had to withdraw his orders. Plan to conquer Khorasan. Muhammad bin Tughlaq wanted to become a great emperor, so he decided to conquer Khorasan, Iran. He raised a large army. These soldiers were paid for 1 year. A lot of money was spent on their training and weapons, but after 1 year the Sultan gave up the idea of conquering Khorasan. The soldiers were disbanded. They spread lawlessness in the state. It led to revolts and many states declared their independence. The Sultan lost control over the empire. He died in 1351 AD. Firoz Shah Tughlaq. After the death of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq became the Sultan of Delhi Sultanate. He ruled 1351 to 1388 AD. Firoz Shah started many schemes for the welfare of the people. Firoz Shah built many canals, tarika, wells, hospitals, and rest houses etc. During his reign, he established some new towns like Firozad, Firozpur, Jaunpur, and Hisar. He also set up many educational institutions. He died in 1388 AD. Downfall of the Tughlaq Empire and Timur's invasion, 1398 AD. The successors of Firoz Shah Tughlaq did not pay any attention towards the administration of Tughlaq Empire. Timur was a ruler of Balkh in Central Asia. In 1398 AD, he invaded India and looted Delhi. He went back with the loot. After the return of Timur to the Central Asia, The provinces of Punjab, Malwa, Mewar, Jaunpur, Khandesh, Gujarat etc. declared themselves independent. Before leaving Delhi, Timur appointed Khizr Khan as governor of Multan, Lahore, and Deepalpur. As a result, in 1414 AD Khizr Khan conquered Delhi and led to the decline of the Tughlaq Empire. The Sayyids, AD 1414 to 1451. After the decline of Tughlaq Empire, Khizr Khan laid the foundation of Sayyid dynasty. This dynasty ruled till 1414 to 1415 AD. The last rulers of this dynasty were Mubarak Shah, Muhammad Shah, Alauddin Alam Shah. Alauddin Alam Shah was defeated by Bahlol Lodhi, a governor of Lahore. Lodhi dynasty, AD 1451 to 1526. Bahlol Lodhi was the founder of the Lodhi dynasty. He maintained peace and order in the country, but he died in 1488 AD. He was succeeded by his son Sikandar Lodhi. Sikandar Lodhi, 1488 to 1517 AD. Sikandar Lodhi was the most powerful ruler of the Lodhi dynasty. He initiated many public welfare measures. For example, agriculture was improved and efforts were made to keep the prices of essential goods low. In 1503 AD, he established the city of Agra and made it his capital. But in 1517 AD, he fell ill and died. Therefore, Ibrahim Lodhi, son of Sikandar Lodhi, became the Sultan of Delhi Sultanate. Ibrahim Lodhi, 1517 to 1526. Ibrahim Lodhi was the son of Sikandar Lodhi. He sat on the throne of Delhi in 1517 AD. He tried to put a stop to the increasing power of the Umayyad, but it resulted in rebellions against the Ibrahim Lodhi everywhere. Alam Khan, uncle of Ibrahim Lodhi, went to Babur in Afghanistan and invited him to invade India. Babur, the ruler of Kabul, Afghanistan, invaded India. He defeated Ibrahim Lodhi in the First Battle of Panipat in 1526 AD. Ibrahim was killed in the battle. With his death, the rule of Delhi Sultanate came to an end. Babur founded the Mughal Empire in India. Development of political institutions during the Delhi Sultanate. Central government. Sultan enjoyed extensive powers during the Delhi Sultanate. The Sultan had appointed ministers for important departments, but they administrated their departments according to the Sultan. Each department was supervised by a minister or officer. Wazir was in charge of finance and revenue departments. In order to assist the Wazir, many officers were appointed. Amongst them the important were Mushrif-e Mamalik, Mustafi-e Mamalik, Ariz-e Mamalik, Diwan-i Insha, Diwan-i Risalat, Sadar-i Sador. The Auditor General was important. Provincial administration. For the convenience of administration, the empire was divided into many provinces. Governors were appointed to run the provincial administration. They were also called Subaydar, Mukti, or Wali. The provinces further divided into Paraganas, a group of villages. Amil was the chief officer of Paragana. The head of the village was called Muqaddam. Strategies of military control. The sultans of Delhi Sultanate had captured various parts of India. With the help of their army, they checked the foreign invasions with the help of army. They also maintained law and order in their states with the help of their army. Military force was necessary for suppressing the rebellions. The court, nobility and land control. The court. The sultans of Delhi Sultanate had maintained a court of their own. The princes were given the front seats. The ministers, the heads of departments, other officers, and ambassadors from foreign countries were assigned fixed places. The heads of departments were always present there to answer questions asked by the Sultan. Nobility. The sultans of Delhi Sultanate were despots who ruled with the help of nobles. Most of those nobles were of Turkish or Afghan families. But after the reign of Alauddin Khalji, the Muslims and Hindus were also appointed as officers. They formed a class of the nobility. The central ministers, the provincial governors, the military commanders came from the nobility. Land control. Land revenue was the main source of income of the Delhi Sultans. At that time there were three methods: batai, kankat, and measurement of land for determining land revenue. It was collected in cash or other kind. Alauddin Khalji paid attention towards land reforms. He got all the cultivable land measured. He established a department named Diwan-i-Mustakharaj for the look after of agriculture. The rate of land revenue was the highest. Firoz Shah Tughlaq encouraged agriculture. He dug many canals for irrigation. The rate of land revenue was reduced and loans given to the farmers were waived off. Resource mobilization. Besides the land revenue, the other sources of income of the state were Kharaj, zakat, and jizya. Kharaj was the tax on land held by non-Muslimah. It was 10% to 50% of the total produce from land. Khams was 1/5 of the booty which was acquired during the war against the infields, and which was the privilege of the Sultan. The remaining 4/5 of the booty was distributed among the army. The zakat was a religious tax, which was imposed upon the Muslims. It was 2.5% of their property. Jizya was imposed on non-Muslims. It is believed that women, children, and poor people were exempt from the payment of this tax. Its recovery was made on the basis of income at the rate of 10 to 40 takas.